Hello, everyone. In this session, we're going to focus on permissions and Linux operating system. As you can see, when you are doing ls-l, this ls-l shows the permission of each file. So here you can see that this one is the file type that we have. This one is right like a directory, and then you have read, write, execute. R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for executable file. So I have here also written that one. So if you look at, for example, this file, so it has three sections. One section is here, one group is here, and the other group is here, right? So if you look at the green one is a user permission. Blue one is a group permission, and everyone permissions is a red one. So read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. Three read, write, execute for three types of groups that we have. Also, we have here file size, date time, and the file name as well, right? So when you're typing to give a permission, we usually use chmod. And then you have an option to add read, write, execute. Like I can add read um, to the file, or you can use numbering. I want to show you that how does number work. Like execute is number one, and write is number two. So like if you want to give as read, write, execute, is gonna be 7. You see that? Read, write, execute. So if you just add 1 to 2 and then to 4, you see that you have read, write, execute, then the number is gonna be 7. So it's gonna be like this. For example, chmod 7, 7, 7. When you're writing 7, 7, 7, means that user has a read, write, execute, group has a read, write, execute, and then um, also everyone has a read, write, execute, or others has read, write, execute. So it's the same thing. You can do it with like read, write. So it depends what type of permission you want to give to the file. For example, sometimes happens that you want to just give a read permission. Then you're writing chmod 444 for that one. So let's do some stuff in Linux. Let me show you how does it work. So if you come back to my Ubuntu, and here we let's focus on a specific file. Like if I do touch file 1, for example, right? Now I have file 1. If I do ls-l, file 1 has read, write, is a file. The type of this one, it doesn't have like, again, is 0. You see that there's 0, so I can add something, nano file 1. So for example, hello, and then save it. Now, if you do ls-l, this file at least has 6 byte. You see that? So is read, write, execute. Let's say I wanna give execute permission to user. So it's gonna be like this. chmod. I'm typing with read, write, execute letter. So user, you wanna give execute permission, and the file name is file 1. So now let's ls-l. You see that here file 1 now it has under user has a execute permission, and they turn to green. The color of that file turned to green. And let's now do this way. Let's do chmod, and then uh, we can have like numbering. So let's do read, write, execute for user, and then 5, 5. That means 5, 5 means that you have, based on this slide that I show you, a file means read and execute, right? So then I give a read and execute to group and read and execute to others. So then uh, file one, look now, ls-l. So then all of them read, write, like you have read, write and execute, right? Read and execute, read and execute. So for all of them, you have read and execute. That means that user, group, and others, they have read and execute. So basically this way you can change the permission of any file and folder in Linux operating system. It's very important to know that how to give a permission. Some important file. Look at some important file like ls. Let's go cat etc shadow, right? This file. Sudo cat etc shadow. Like this file is important because it contains the user credentials, right? Like the password. So like Ubuntu password is exactly here. So if I do ls-l etc and then shadow, you see that etc shadow does only have read and write for the user, and for the group only has a read, doesn't have a permission for everyone. So everyone doesn't have a permission to reach to this file. So that's the important file. That's why we give a limited permission to a specific user. So it's very important to give the right permission to users. Then if you give more permission, more than needed permission, then attackers can take advantage of that and compromise your machine. I hope this has been informative for you guys, and thanks for watching.